Morning everyone, it's brilliant to see some great worshipping happening already this morning. Now, today I've been asked to speak about miracles and specifically the miracle of healing. And as we've heard already this morning from Ben and Bex, that, the amazing thing is Jesus did loads of miracles here in the Bible, loads and loads, but he's still doing miracles all the time, every day, all around us. And there are many different miracles that Jesus does. He's calmed the storm. We know that story. Do you know that story? He provides, in the story of the loaves and the fish, when people need things, he provides, but he heals. Now, Becca said I could choose any story I like about healing. So we have chosen Jesus heals a paralyzed man. And I thought, instead of telling you the story today, we're going to watch a little video and watch the story. So listen and watch carefully. I love this story for so many different reasons. I mean, obviously, it's just amazing how Jesus does that in front of everyone and just does this amazing thing that some of the people in the room aren't expecting at all. I think to us, I love reading about the miracles in the Bible because when Jesus heals, it seems so simple. But in our heads, when something happens, it's really quite complex, isn't it? I mean, none of us know how a miracle happens, do we? None of us actually can just scientifically make it up. Right? Okay, if this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens, then Jesus can heal. But for Jesus, it's really simple. He just says, "Yeah, you're healed. Up you get," and up the man got. Now, can you imagine his friends, right? So they are his friends. Have anyone here got some friends? I hope most of us have. Hands up if you've got some friends. Has anyone got any friends who have ever been ill at all? So it could be a headache. They might have broken a leg. They might have been really ill in hospital. Does anyone know anyone who's ever been ill? Anyone? Or been ill themselves at any point? Adults? Well, you're a very healthy bunch. My goodness me. Well, I've definitely been ill. Definitely. But these friends, their friend wasn't just a little bit ill. He was really ill. He couldn't walk. So I want us to for a minute, think about if we were one of those friends. Yeah? So you imagine you're one of those men, and you've taken your friend on the mat. You believe Jesus can heal your friend. You've got him up. We don't know whether he wanted to go or not. We don't know. But the friends took him on his mat, and they got to the house and said, "Yeah, let's see Jesus heal our friend." And they got there. They can't get in. Oh, they didn't just turn around, did they? What did they do? Did they just turn around and go home when they couldn't get in? Cara? They went through the roof. Again, that's quite tricky, isn't it? Going up the house with a man and going through the roof. They didn't let something stop them. They carried on until they got what they wanted. So at the end, the people who see this miracle say, "We have seen extraordinary and amazing things today." Isn't that amazing? Right, so let's have a think about being friends. Can we have a look at the next one? There we go. Right, I've been thinking about this and thinking the man who was sick couldn't have got to Jesus without his friends. Has anyone got any way that he could have got to Jesus without his friends? Anyone got any bright ideas? Kez? Have they had a phone, they could have called him. One small problem, they didn't. Yes, Isabel? They could have done it with the family, but maybe he didn't have family. So without his friends, the man couldn't have come to Jesus. Can we repeat that? Without his friends, the man he couldn't have come to Jesus. What? He would have just been stuck at home, wouldn't he? Now I don't think that was all they would have done for him, do you? What else might his friends have done to help their friend who was really sick before this day? What else might they have done? Anyone, any ideas? Anyone? Yeah. Brought him food. Yeah, great. Anything else, do you think? How would he have washed himself if he couldn't get to any water? They might have had to help him wash, mightn't they? They'd have had to help him pretty much with everything. There were no wheelchairs. There were no electric mobility scooters. He couldn't have done anything. His friends had to help him with everything, or he would have died. It's quite as simple as that, really, for this man. So his friends would have done lots of things. But out of all those things, what was the most important thing, do you think, that the friends did for him? What was the most important thing that these friends did? Yeah, Luca.
They didn't give up.
Didn't give up. Brilliant. They brought him to... Who did he bring him to? Jesus. And Jesus healed him. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Now, I was thinking, if we've got anyone we know in our world who might be sick, family maybe, or maybe some friends, what could we do to help our friends? Like practically, what can we do as a church? This is for adults to think out, especially the adults. What can we do? If we've got people around us who are sick and needing help, what can we do? Any ideas? Sorry? Send them a nice text. Do you know what? That is a really good thing. That's a great thing to do. Send them encouraging words. What else, Zion?
Pray.
Pray. Whoa, you got to my next question really quickly. Well done. Absolutely, we can pray for our friends. What else? So we can text them. That's helpful. Yep, we can pray for them. Brilliant. Anything else practically that we can do? If someone's really sick, so I'm not talking someone just needs to have a couple of paracetamol and they're fine. What else could we do? Yeah, Brooke.
Cook food.
Cook food. Yeah, perhaps we could cook some meals for people we know. What else? I know in the past when I've really not been feeling well, when I had Primrose, she had to come out of my tummy and I couldn't do anything. So I had to have people help me hoover. I had to have people, my lovely mum and dad were amazing and they came round, they helped me get the washing out of the washing machine. I wasn't allowed to do that. I wasn't allowed to empty my dishwasher. I needed help. So we can do things for our friends in our world and family to help them when they're sick. But you know what? As Zion very well pointed out, what's the most important thing that we can do for our friends or family who are sick? Out of all those things are great, but what's the most important thing we can do? Yeah, Eliana?
Pray.
Pray. Bring them to Jesus. Now, we might not have to have a mat like this, and 4 of us carry them on the mat. But you know what? We can carry them with our prayers. Does anyone understand what that might mean? Anyone? We can take them to Jesus. Yeah. So let's have a think about what it's like for the paralyzed man. There we go. So we've already said to get to Jesus, he had to accept his friend's help. He couldn't, we've already said this, he couldn't get to Jesus himself. He couldn't. But with his friends, they brought him before Jesus. He had to accept help. How might he have felt? Anyone got any ideas? Adults, have you got any ideas? Put your hands up if you do. How might he have felt to be taken to Jesus on his mat? Anyone? Any adults? No. Vulnerable. Well done, Ben. Brilliant. Vulnerable, yeah. I think this is things for us actually as adults to think about. He must have felt vulnerable. How else might he have felt? Jenny? Worried that it wouldn't work. I've been wondering, do you think he even maybe didn't want to go in the first place? We don't know. He might have said to his friends, please take me, please take me on my mat to Jesus. Or he might have been going, I don't really want to go. I don't want to go. I just want to stay at home. I'd much rather my blanket's quite comfy. I don't want to go. And what do you think when they got to the house? It's all right, mate, we're going to lower you through the roof. Do you think he went, woohoo? Really? Do you think... I reckon he was like, no, you're not. Sorry, you're not. You're not lowering me through. No, that's not happening. You're not lowering me through this roof. Just take me home. I was fine at home. You can make me another meal. We're all right. Do you know what? The friends didn't give up. Or he might have loved that. He might have said, yeah, put me through the roof. We don't know. But either way, the friends lowered him through the roof, whether he wanted to or not. And Jesus healed him. But he couldn't have got to Jesus without his friends. So if you're sick, it's not always easy to accept help. I'm talking about me when I had my cesarean with Primrose. I like to be self-reliant. I struggled, and I had to learn a real life lesson. I really did. I really struggled to allow help, even from my mum and dad. I struggled, and I prayed, and I had to search my heart, because I was like, I can do it. It's fine. I'm fine. I can do it. Do you know what? There's nothing wrong with just going, you know what? Please help. Or just saying, okay, you can help. Maybe not even please, just allowing someone to do something for you. So maybe go and clean a friend's house. If they say no, but you know they need it, just clean it. Just tell them you're coming. Go and do it. Go and do it. But you know what? Yeah, if you're sick, it's not always easy to accept help. We know that. But accept help. And do you know what I think? What's the next slide? I can't remember what I've put up. Can we have a look? Who are you today? Yeah. Maybe, I think I'm going to straight through. Maybe you're sick. I've got underneath here. Today as church, family and friends, we can bring you before Jesus. Now, I've been thinking about this. Boys and girls, we hear about miracles happening all the time, don't we? And do we? Well, I do. I really believe Jesus can do miracles today, right now. I know miracles he's done. But you know what? Sometimes he doesn't do miracles like that. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he doesn't. And if you've been sick for a while, sometimes you give up praying, if I'm honest. Sometimes you might think, I'm not praying. You either might just feel too disappointed or sad or tired. And sometimes inside yourself you go, even towards Jesus. If I'm honest, you might turn to Jesus and say, I'm not praying anymore, Jesus. I prayed enough. I can't anymore. Do you know what though, church? As family and friends, what do we do then? What do we do at that moment? pick up our friend on the mat and take them to Jesus. Maybe when they've got no more strength, no more energy, no more resolve in their hearts to keep going. At that point, we pick our friends up. And let's do it before that. But at that point, when maybe someone who's sick feels like they can't bring themselves to Jesus anymore, we can. We can. We are their friends. We are their family, boys and girls. You can. You can do it with your friends that you know who aren't very well. With perhaps grandparents, great-grandparents, uncles, aunts, parents, anyone you know, we can pray for them and bring them to Jesus. So that's really what I want to say. Oh, and at the end, Jesus healed this man. And in the Bible, it says when he saw their faith. Can we say that together? When he saw their faith. Their faith. Now, there are other miracles in the Bible. It says when Jesus saw that person's faith, when Jesus healed a lady, when he saw her faith, he healed her. In this miracle, seeing their faith. So this morning, we're going to hear a couple more stories about Jesus today, now, healing people. And then after that, Bex is going to follow up and talk about what we're going to do next, which is going to be about us picking up the mat and bringing people to Jesus. So let's hear from some amazing stories. There we go. Thanks, Bex.